I got plastic. I got some plastic up too. It's like when I was trying to get some warmth in Amsterdam, and Shaylee covered me with that plastic blanket. It's a sense of warmth, but it's not warmth. It's actually a cold trapping situation.
It's like plastic, like visqueen. It comes in a roll, and it's kind of opaque.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Keep the cold air in.
I can't really see over the out, and then I was hearing shit, and I was starting to get concerned. Like, what the fuck is that? And it's turkeys. They just weren't making any squawks, but I got a pallet down there, and it's like they launch off of it. So the turkeys.
That is quite a palace you're building there. You put plastic up on your balcony, and you got a pallet out front.
I got a pallet, and the turkey. It's a turkey luncheon pallet. So I'm not really that into Thanksgiving, but I'm thinking I've got them kind of set up where I could fuck one of them up pretty easy.
Wait, you have a Wile E. Coyote fucking trap for a turkey?
Oh, I could put a little weight so that when they go to the edge and then just out with the weight, to pull it down and then smash them with the pallet. Some shit like that.
Yeah. But what could go wrong?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, it's a slick. It could get wet, and I throw cat shit down there. Try to go retrieve a turkey under a pallet. It might be wounded. I could slip in the cat shit and fall down and be on even terrain with a wounded turkey. Just thinking it through.
Andy, the turkeys aren't afraid of jamming their own faces inside the mouth of another turkey.
I know. Yeah. That's why, I would like beat the shit out of him if I had it mono and we're both in the slop. I'll fuck him up, man. No, you got to figure you do the same if this situation were reversed.
I've been researching hunting laws here in Arizona because I've been wanting to get. I think I'm going to get back into hunting. I'm going to get a compound bow and start hunting again. But we can buy an over-the-counter turkey tag. So I mean, you could legally just kill those fucking things.
Yeah. Well, with a pallet.
Well, I don't know if they have pallet season.
Pallet season.
Yeah,
you might be able to do it with your crossbow, but
I think anvils are legal through March.
Yeah.
Listen, if you just chase them off a cliff, it's their fault, really. I mean, you didn't even do it.
Yeah, I'd like to think I could rig up some sort of a net to catch them, but I know that's beyond my realm. Or IKEA furniture.
What? Why would you want to catch them in a net? What would you do with a turkey that you'd caught in a net? What would you do after you had?
I don't think that's the problem. I don't think I would be like that, naked and afraid alpha dude going, I've made dinner. I just I don't even like leftovers with turkey's good the day of, and then after that, fuck it. So if, I kill him, I just slice a piece off for, symbolically.
As long as you honor the animal, Andy. That's all. That's all that really is required.
Well, if I outsmart a turkey with a pallet, there's no honor there.
Use all of the animal, make a sandwich. It's the same fucking thing, really, if you think about it.
Well, I'd make a headdress, but then people would accuse me of being insensitive to Indians. Like, no, man, it's inspired by some of their shit, but
I just respect turkeys a lot.
Yeah, I didn't want to piss on after what I did to him.
I think you should allow the turkeys onto your property as a turkey sanctuary. That's what I think you should do. Yeah, why not? Well, they're not bothering anybody, are they? Just keep them out of your weed plants.
Well, they startled me a while ago because I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And my heart's still beating a little bit. It's like because I kept hearing it. It's like it doesn't. And then it just didn't associate.
Yeah, but just because you're sketchy doesn't mean the turkeys are bothering everyone.
Well, turkeys
you're paranoid in your plastic bubble.
That's
I think if you live up here,
shit all over.
I think if you live up here, everybody has a situation with them. You don't want to I don't get along. The property values are dropping or whatever, but they do shit all over everything, and then they're up on your roof, and then they're big and ugly, kind of awkward fucks too.
If you have a cat shit area, I don't really see how turkeys would be a problem, though. I mean, maybe I just think that's where they're supposed to hang out.
I throw the cat shit out of my area and the turkey shit in my area, And that isn't even a problem because I can walk around it just fine. But my dog goes out there and licks it. And that's okay too. I don't care about that either. But she's thrown up a couple times, and that's a culprit.
No.
So I had that. Now I have to be involved. Like I'd like to
Yeah.
just be, a pacifist about it. Now,
I think cat shit's one of those things though that even if you throw it out of your area, I mean, it still stays part of your problem. Especially if you keep adding to it.
I want people to think I have a meth lab up here.
The cops burst onto your property and find out it's a homemade turkey slaughterhouse.
Oh, it's to keep other tweakers
A DIY.
out. I won't lose my bike if it smells like meth around here because the other game respects game.
Professional courtesy.
Yeah. Something like that.
What the fuck kind of meth does it taste? Smells like cat shit. I've not had that.
I always hear it smells like cat. The meth lab smells like cat piss. So I'm wondering if the guys just don't shower, how that, but
yeah.
I've never really. Yes, I've never been around a functioning meth lab.
I've never have either.
Yeah, it seemed like it would be a very chemically smell, like ammonia, maybe. Maybe that's what you're catching, the cat smell. I don't know either what it is.
I say we've got to start up a meth lab ourselves and figure this out. This is really the only answer.
Purely as scientists.
Set it up.
I mean, like I started out playing with the big gym van, and then I lit it on fire with a smoke bomb. I was kind of laying the groundwork. Oh, fuck, these poor dudes are all disfigured, but they're still criminals.
Yeah. I mean, Andy, think about the amount of money you're making in your extra room as an Airbnb, and then imagine how much money you could be making if you were utilizing that extra room as a meth lab.
Well, plus the guy's really smart, so he'd probably be able to do
it. Oh, you could be it?
Hire
him.
He's
doing all the science. I could do all the yo bitch and finding
you be the
sketchy
Jesse,
people.
He'll be the Walter White.
I could certainly find a couple of sketchy people to sell to.
Well, yeah, you got Hobo Dave or whatever his name is. Start there.
Yeah, I go out to the chop shop and say, I'm not here for my bike, but I see it over there in the corner.
So, hey, Andy, according to, what is this? drugrehab.com, a meth lab can smell like acetone or polish remover or similar to rotten eggs. And it can also have a strong ammonia-like smell similar to glass cleaner or cat urine.
So that's the one nobody ever says, smells like glass cleaner in here. What'd you do? Just ammonia up all your windows?
Did you just clean it? Like vigorously clean all of your windows?
And what do you use to remove your teeth? Is that a similar product?
I don't see a cat. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. There's your first clue. You're in a meth lab. It smells like cats, and there ain't any cats.
Ain't no cats.
No cats around here.
It smells like glass cleaner, and nothing's clean.
Yeah. I know people who live like tweakers that aren't, though. It's like sometimes you can just be a fucking pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a sister too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I'm drug free. Oh really? Wow.
I think when people first start doing meth, they clean up all the time. Just after a while, I think is what happens.
Yeah, there are some who do. If you can clean and keep that going on meth, you just get into the business.
Yeah, well,
they'd all be Molly maids.
I never had a methamphetamine problem or anything, but I would do it recreationally whenever people would come over and had it. I'd be like, all right, I'll do that, and I liked it just because I would get a lot of chores done for 3 days. So it's
a hobby.
Yeah.
That's not true. You don't do.
It was medicinal, really.
3 days straight. Generally, well, maybe it's a
well,
mountain bike.
I don't know, like model railroaders, they get into a zone.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not a drug fiend. I'm a drug hobbyist. I have done 4 or 5 day, laid out a whole train set with other enthusiasts. I like that term too, enthusiast. He said enthusiast.
I
What's
once
that
took
mean?
apart an entire truck because these guys had the intention of restoring it, but we took off every single part of it, just disassembled the entire truck with just wrenches and some cutting torches and stuff. But in about a week and a half, we just cut this whole, probably less than that, cut the whole truck apart, brought it down to nothing, and then they ran out of math or inspiration or something, and then it just sat there. We didn't put nothing back together at all.
And it's probably good that I steered clear of meth for the most part, you know. And maybe it's a good thing that David Dalton sold us trucker speed or junk speed, because it hasn't had a good history in my family or whatever. And I could see. I had a class, and I was doing some like trucker speed. I had a biology class, and in college, like this was one of the my third college, but my first real college felt like. And they gave us a pig to dissect, and I just went to town on it, like sliced the fuck out of it. I took it apart, and then the teacher's like, "All right, you guys," and then he's like describing how to do the first cut. Like, oh fuck, man.
And it's already totally eviscerated in front of you.
Yeah, like if I was on speed, like real speed, that would, I would have kept going. As it were, I dropped the class because I didn't really. I put the pig down and excused myself, and then I just went, and that was when it was cool to drop classes. When I didn't realize how fucking that was the whole thing. But I would take classes, and then I would drop a bunch of them and end up under the limit for what financial aid would pay for. So
yeah, you got a little drop happy.
Yeah, I go like, it's like, no, none of these are working out, and you don't get to meet any other classes. You just get that first run, and then I dropped to about eight or nine credits was plenty for me at community college. What with all my side hustles.
Well, you had a full-time job just wrangling dirty underpants.
Oh, I never. Oh, well, that was middle school. Actually, though, I did come into wrangling underpants on the Man Show again. I wrangled, I can't think of it, Gemma Jameson's underwear, and whenever the juggies would leave wardrobe around, I would bag it up, and then I sold it in Appleton, Wisconsin, in a garage sale. Yeah, Skyline. I set up a garage sale with Man Show collectibles. That was the hook to the garage sale, because otherwise it was just a bunch of stuff I grabbed at Goodwill for about $5.
It was really evidence, though, right? I mean, you stole it.
Not really. I mean, I guess technically from production, but I don't know. This was pre-COVID, but what's Jenna Jameson peels them off. Are you gonna put them in laundry and give them to the That's So Raven cast? I assume we all share the same laundry room there.
I get your point.
Jenna wanted him to have those underwear.
I'm sure she
I wrote
did.
in the bag, and then I had somebody forge signatures of everybody, and I had prints of Juggy pictures, and then forged signatures on them, and then the underwear, which was false or was not false. They were Jenna Jameson's, and then I wrote slightly sniffed out, but that was true. I didn't want them to go in there thinking, this is a fresh scratch and sniff. No, I've had these for 6 weeks, so they've been a little aired out.
You got out of those at the right time. They'd be worth nothing now. Yeah. So good job on that, man.
Right before the Jesus stink hit the we can't get that out of the silk. Satin, whatever.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, how was your gig, Erickson?
It was great. I enjoyed it, actually. It was outside at a weird little restaurant out in Venice, and it was all right, man. I think it's the future of comedy, if there is one, for the next 6 months at least. So it's good, we're in California, so we can be outside. It's like you guys in Arizona, everyone else is fucked.
Well, think about it.
So
Some places will have all those built-in weather jokes, like Sarah Klobuchar, clumsy comedy.
Amy,
Yeah, remember she did
what?
that one bit
Amy
about how it was.
Klobuchar.
Yeah, she did kept saying, like, oh, I'm out in the snow, and like Donald won't come out in the snow. But I saw like 8 times that she did the same joke in different situations. But that's what comics will have. It'll be like, hey, I never thought I would be doing a open air laundromat in a fucking ice storm.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much it's raining right now. Is it safe to even be up here with this cord in and shit like that?
I will say one thing about I was on the lineup with 3 other comedians that I know pretty well. And I was the only one who did new material. Everything they were doing material that they were doing before COVID hit, and I was blown away by that. I'm like, what in the fuck? How can you? First of all, I can't even remember the things I was saying before all of this happened, but I would have no interest in revisiting any of those topics. And I realize it's stupid for any of us to be out, probably, especially now with another wave hitting. But I especially can't imagine going out to do comedy and then doing the same 10-minute memorized bit you've been doing for 5 years. What's the fucking point of that?
You just described my act.
Dude, you have never done the same joke twice. Are you fucking kidding me? You're the exact opposite of in fact, your problem is you don't memorize enough stuff. So
I'm ready
for
this post-COVID world.
You are absolutely
world. Most of your audience is going to be people who've had COVID, and they're going to have a lot of physical and mental damage, so they won't be able to follow you along for shit. And they definitely won't go, that's how you did it last time, because they'll be like blank slate. They won't even remember last time or that chair, that they live in. But, oh man, this is all shit. Huh? And they can't get it. Anyway, I don't know. COVID's going to be funny someday. Like 9/11 and abortion.
I think it's funny now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, anything that got Thanksgiving out of the way, like we're already looking at a shitty Christmas. It's like, wow, it's like they flipped the calendar already. I mean, fuck Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's up. And, unless you have a group of cool friends and a party and drugs and shit around you, it's always sucked for me. Sorry, Delaney. Some of those were fun. You drew we did those turkey pictures. That was a lot of fun.
Smash those turkeys with pallets. Remember that?
Yeah. Watching the parade until you leave to go to the bathroom, and then flipping it on football and saying the parade's over.
Wait, doesn't Santa end the parade every year, Andy?
Nope.
Not this year.
Not at your house.
Santa died, honey.
Yeah, the
no
Lions.
Christmas.
He's on quick. He's got a lot of stuff to do.
My favorite Thanksgiving tradition is bringing weed that is way more powerful than any of the people who will smoke a joint with me at Thanksgiving is used to, and just completely fucking them up so they can't talk to anybody. And they
now tell me
stumbling around the corner.
What's your politics? No, man, I can't talk.
Yeah. I don't remember how to talk to people.
Perfect.
Yeah, maybe there shouldn't be Thanksgivings, but if there are, feed them a lot of weed cookies, and that's when you try to gaslight somebody.
We're not doing anything that's
If I can't catch a turkey, we probably won't even have a traditional situation. I like the Andrus Thanksgivings were. I remember like when I was Larry and David were older, and then when they would come home and they would go and they would sneak off. It's like we're all ready for Thanksgiving, and nobody was happy, but we're all ready to sit down and eat. And then those guys would disappear, and then my mom would go, "I know what they're doing," and then she would go down and catch them smoking weed in the basement, and then they would come up, and they were not happy, She ruined the buzz or whatever, and then they would sit there, and it would just seem like this fucking scary thing that these guys were smoking drugs, and they couldn't be happy with just being around family.
Now you get it entirely.
Oh, fuck yeah. I would have been down the basement with them going, hey, fucks, I got a bong. I made it out of Larry's fucking shit.
I turned baby Drowsy into a bong. Check it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got her
The
back.
carve is her nose. You also get credit for infant mouth to mouth if you do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you just hit him on the back a lot. I don't think you want to kiss him in case somebody has a camera around.
Swing him around by the foot.
Yeah.
That'll bring him right back.
I want to see one of them on Twitter or whatever where it just says, oh, these are photos that nobody should see or whatever. And then have them be really fucking horrific or cool instead of it just being a spam, man. Waiting for one nipple shot from. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, it's all fucking. And I should feel what I had that I used to not even think I was smart. And I wasn't probably, but I can just feel it chipping away. It's like, I was average smarts, and now I'm not sure where it's at. But I am smarter than a lot of motherfuckers. I'll take that.
I know my edible's kicking in because I didn't understand any of that.
I think Andy just told us that he's repeatedly falling for the same clickbait, and
he's complaining about doing something that he could easily do himself. He could easily post a picture that is fucked up, and he could start it with, "I can't believe these pictures."
Yeah, I'm thinking of starting one that says, do you know anyone who has COVID? Just answer with yes or no. You've seen that? I've seen that like 30 times.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. It's like sickness porn for people. It's like we're all nervous, and then, oh, cool, I can read 500 anecdotal people laying on their bellies, coughing up blood stories. You know, that'll get me fucking enthusiastic about.
I could give you a little bit of reassurance there, Andy, because I hear these stories from my daughter Olivia a lot because she's been doing it since March in her ICU. But
where's she at?
She's
in the Midwest.
Peoria. Right? Yeah, she's in Peoria, and but all of the people that they have in the ICU are either really old or almost all of them are big fat fuckers. So it's not like there are. It really is a thing where if you're otherwise pretty unhealthy and you get COVID, it's probably going to be pretty bad for you. So if you get it, Andy, I don't think you're going to end up on your stomach coughing blood, at least not from the COVID.
Chronically jacking off and living life full of anxiety.
Well, he's really so belly sick all the time. How's he going to know if he's actually got COVID or not?
There's that.
Yeah. Am I feeling sick with COVID, or am I just remembering bad things? Oh no, I was just thinking about the 80s. I guess I'm not dying.
I'm not dying. I just wish I was.
And it'll just be malingering in the hospital, fucking asking for more pain meds. I'm hurting, dog. You're not even sick. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Are you even my patient?
First of all, you walked in here. Everybody else is in bed. Is bedridden.
You're in your street clothes. Where's your gown?
No, I don't have COVID. I got hit in the arm with a baseball. I'm wondering if you guys have any mid-level knock-me-outs.
That was one of the funniest fucking things ever. I don't know if you guys remember what he's referring to. I think he told the story. Yes, at the Lug Nuts game, and he got hit with a fucking baseball and tried to go to the first aid station to get pain meds. I was with him. It was hilarious. I didn't know that's what he was going to do until he did it right next to me. It was fucking
I thought it was
hilarious.
like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I got the bruise.
Disappointed.
I got the bruise trying to catch a ball, and then the Cubs bullpen thought it looked funny, so I was kind of pissed about that. And then I was like, I'm going to go get some meds. And I think the ball players knew what I was doing, but I guess on the other, like if I was one of them, I might have been able to pull it off. Like I just got dinged with a ball. I need a Quaalude.
Do you even think that's available in a first aid?
Could I get seven Quaaludes?
Minor league baseball park?
Well,
The
No.
Lansing, Michigan
To the
Lug
public.
Nuts?
Yeah.
Not at the first aid station. If you'd have stayed at the bullpen with the pitchers, maybe you'd have been able to find a few. That's where you get them. The players.
yeah, oh yeah. Well,
They
when I
get
went
the fentanyl, dude.
when I went
We
to
had the best
Disneyland,
in the house. They weren't offering us pain meds, Andy.
Yeah, that's right. I should have just, I'm not real, I could have just guzzled 2 beers,
I think
but I knew it. Well, I was drinking, but I knew I anticipate pain and I try to prevent it. Like I'm Minority Report for pain. It's like, I bet that's gonna hurt in a week. Oh, I'll take those.
Start dosing up now.
The problem is I don't really like the weaker pain meds. I just like the ones that can take you over the edge and kill you. Those are the ones I kind of like leaning into. So I can't really just do a couple of Vicodin and call it good. Like Mishka, he's not an addict, but he does like the Vicodin. But it's his back.
He does?
I don't know. He was in back pain. Like I got belly aches. He had back pain.
Wait, so what drugs does
I don't think we
sober
should do
motherfucker
this.
Here we go.
I don't think we should do this, fellas. This
We
is
can't
not right.
Yeah, no, this is his lively. It's his livelihood.
Yeah,
He's like a
Oh, I'm
televangelist.
gonna call an audible here.
We can't call
Alright.
Kenneth Copeland out. Hey, Kenneth Copeland actually does believe Biden got elected, but we gotta let him do the ha 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 because he's in front of his church. Falling off the
So
bike.
you're telling me that Mishka wears his shirt most of the time. In real life, he's got his
Real
shirt on. Okay, I get it.
Right? Yeah, we all got several big gym. Yeah, I don't even drink alcohol. My character is a boozy Martin and Lewis. I'm like the one who did drugs.
Like both of them.
All of Andy
Mark
Spears are
Lewis.
leftover fakes from the Man Show. He's been drinking everybody. this
And
whole
what did
time.
Jerry Lewis do to have that fucking energy? Was he a speed guy? You think? I'm asking. Do you know?
I have no
never
idea.
heard.
I mean,
I think they were all definitely just drinking, but I mean, I don't know what if there was.
Oh, I know
something
Lewis
else.
evolved into a drunk, but when he was
Dean
in his
Martin was a
heyday,
huge drunk.
yeah,
That was before the cocaine thing, though. I mean, right? I mean, there was
there was
cocaine,
cocaine,
of course.
They
I
were
mean, there always
into
been
it. They
cocaine,
were,
but-
yeah, back in the 50s, though, it was like Benzedrine, I think. Speed. That's what all the beatnik guys were doing. You know, they were getting like I think they had them like the inhalers, and you'd pull them apart, and they'd have the shit would be soaked with stuff, and then they'd huff it. That's what what's the fucking William Burroughs. That's what he was high on when he shot and killed his wife when they were he was playing William Tell with her. He had her put a fucking apple on her head, and he took a fucking shot at her and fucking hit her in the face. Oops.
so he
But
got in trouble
they were
for
just
that.
high as shit on Benzedrine.
Did
Well,
he
he got in as much trouble as a rich St. Louis aristocrat could get into. So no, not really at all. I don't remember what happened to him over that.
Yeah.
I think he took off like I can't remember.
That's the
Here's-
thing.
here's
With
proof.
He definitely killed his wife. He just said it was an accident.
that's what people always got to look into. Is like if I'm gonna recreate this crime, wait, what's my socio-economical situation
Well.
compared to O.J. Simpson? Or, or whatever the
what kind
crime
of
may
lawyer
be, or
am I gonna
whatever.
be able to afford?
Yeah, am I gonna have that kind of legal, or am I gonna have the guy who got me the blow and go in my car for 6 months after he said he'd really
Yeah.
he'd make sure that didn't
Yeah.
happen? So,
Yeah, you got to look at your bank account and then decide what kind of crimes you can afford to get away with.
That's
Yeah.
it right there.
I still got that first strike situation in a lot of things that you can go do. If I stole something and got caught now, and then I would have to do some classes, and I would be like, man, I'm lifelong. You guys, you don't even know, it's like I was stealing, back in the day before there were cameras, man, everything was wide open. You could remove big fucking machines and shit if you had a cool cover story.
All you needed was a jacket that said security.
Yeah, vendor company or whatever. Yeah, I feel like I'm I haven't lived I don't have a criminal record that nearly represents me as a person and how I feel inside. I should have done a stint or two in jail. I guess Larry's been the Larry's kind of done the time for the family for the most part.
Yeah.
He's
Very
represented.
Christ-like.
Yeah, it's like when you're in the Family Feud and you put your two smartest family members up there at the end. Larry would be the one you just keep off the stage because he's in jail.
The Andrus on Family Feud does paint a beautiful picture.
Oh, I would love to see that. Who would they play?
Who would be first? Who would be the first person in the?
My mom would
they
be
usually
up
have
there,
the
probably.
patriarch or the matriarch is the first person. Your dad obviously isn't going to be up there.
I don't think he'd want to because they wouldn't want to rebuild the thing so he could wheel his wheelchair up.
Yeah. He'd be in the middle, and the dude would just have to lean over to talk to him and hold the mic over. You couldn't even see him. You just know he was down there.
Back then, it would have been Richard Dawson.
Yeah, Richard Dawson would have been.
Yeah, and my dad would have.
He would have been over there kissing your mom.
Maybe.
Shit your dad could do about it.
I saw my mom performing. I think it's like a Vietnam fog, but I think I walked in and my mom was taking some liberties with her mouth on my dad's paralyzed penis, but I don't think I ever saw him kiss. I don't remember that. That would have been hella awkward.
What,
more
the kiss?
awkward than walking in on a blowjob?
I don't know if that's what I mean. That's if I could have one of my parents or both of them back, I would ask him about that. Was he able to, was he able to get erections? Because I would have, if that would have helped me put catheters on him, if I could have showed him a penthouse.
Mom, could you come over here and work the balls? I'm trying to get this fucking catheter.
I got basketball practice. I need to get done with this. I don't got all day.
You just have to take him into Larry's room with the closet door.
He wasn't circumcised, so it was like grabbing a razor clam out of a, not quite properly dug hole, And then the other hand, the glue wrap, and then the unsheathing of the thing, and then a lot of times you'd hold the tape, or you'd have the tape on your face so you could quickly access it. It's basically you're like, it's like I'm putting a sting on a wound or something. It's like I got, he's gonna lose the limb if I, it's like, I that's probably why I don't like rubbers.
Yeah.
So just so we're clear here.
You give the girl the whole spiel, that whole spiel that you just gave us. Is that what you tell her right before you decline?
Shaylee, I don't know if any of you guys have dug razor clams, but I have, and that was fucking hilarious.
So Andy, what you're talking about is because there's two kinds of catheter. There's a catheter, which is a glass like pipette with a kind of a bulb on the end that goes down the urethra. And that's when you go to the hospital.
Outside.
You had an external, which was like a tight fitting condom that like pinched at the base of the penis, and then urine would pressure build and then go into the bag.
This is kind of like when I neutered the pig, but I did this a lot of times. But I think what the job was to get a head on his uncircumcised dick, put glue around his head, then put the condom, affix the condom to the glue, and then you would hold his dick with one hand, and then get that tape, and then put the tape around the dick, and then you hook it up to the leg bag, and then and pray to sweet Jesus that it doesn't leak. Or you got to redo it. And I don't even remember getting the glue off of my dad's dick, but you would have had to probably take it down to 0 and start again if he blasted out. He had.
There's got to be a better way.
Well, he peed into a jug.
Yeah, I told you what the other way is.
I think he lost the ability to, and then he went to catheters later. Because I remember him peeing into a jug and him having a lot of fun with that, and not knowing my dad even had a penis at that time, really, or thinking about it, and then let alone to have to get technical with it and talk strategy with my brothers. Like, how do you get that thing?
Well, you gotta.
That's what I walked in. As
T-
mom wasn't sucking him off; she was just cleaning the glue from a botch job.
Oh. She was cursing you guys. Goddamn kids never clean the glue off the tip. I gotta fucking peel it off with my teeth.
Maybe it was like envelope glue, and she actually acquired a taste for it.
Yeah.
More like it's kind of like the PVC glue, but I can't imagine it being quite as sticky. There's the whole setup there, right behind Shaylee's head. Yep. Oh, the good old days. My
Did
dad.
you have the Velcro collar as well?
My dad had a way more colorful penis. Lots of purples and pinks.
Like a beautiful sunset.
Yeah. Red
The
hue.
Arizona sunset.
Yeah, it was like a stretch of Arizona highway at dusk.
Oh, fuck. You poor dude, man.
Yeah, well, that was fortunately I was the youngest, so I probably had the longest shift. But for a
Well,
while,
you probably got other people's shifts dumped on you because
Yeah.
what the fuck are you gonna
See,
do
shouldn't
about
they-
it, right?
Shouldn't they have somebody? I mean, I mean this question. Shouldn't there be some sort of like state-sponsored, government-sponsored home health care
but
person
they'd have to
I think
live
there
there.
Yeah,
is
for
helping
2
us
weeks.
just-
You get them
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks, and then that's
And they
it.
show
I
you
mean,
how to do it.
forever. I mean, forever.
It does not happen in America. My dad was bedridden and had to have full care for like 5 years. In 2 years, I did it. There is basically we were trading shit that he didn't need, like Infamil, like the nutritional supplements and like puppy pads that he didn't need, and they were using that. There was horse trading going on with products to help stem some of the costs because it all came out of my mom's pocket. It was crazy.
Shaylee, you got to change that picture behind you. I can't take anything you say.
Yeah, there should be like a.
We get the
eight-
point.
there should be-
Jesus Christ.
It should be an 8-second clock on certain things.
It's like Shaylee
did you
forgets
notice-
what's behind him when he's
Yeah.
talking. It's like trying to share a heartfelt. Like that's a tough situation to be in.
It's like that
It's
that
like,
Hedberg
see,
bit in the family picture, and everybody's looking to the left. What is going on over there? There's no penis. They're looking over here because the other way is a penis in their face. And not only that, that was a fucking it looked like an alien penis. Like that. That's what I said. My dad's had
That
a
was
butt.
definitely a dummy.
No,
Yeah.
that was a real
Not
person.
joking.
That was someone modeling.
no need for name calling.
What?
Yeah,
You can't see his
that's
belly
myth-
or his crumpled pants at his ankles because it was cropped.
crumpled pants model.
That's a
They
pretty
put him
good
in-
rid that he's got, though. You want me to bring it
Put 'em
back
in
up?
those Spanx
Well,
and
I'll
they
bet what I had
fucking,
to deal with was, I'll bet that, I could talk to a kid today who's doing it and go, man, you got it made with some of that slick shit.
Totally.
You got a thing to clamp onto your dad's dick.
Yeah.
You don't have to fucking manhandle it. Shit.
They got robots doing it now.
See, yeah. You got a Roomba that can put a catheter on your old man? Wow.
A Roomba.
Roomba.
A
Right.
Roomba's
Wait,
a
you don't-
dance.
You don't
Yeah.
spit on that first.
I remember we had these ridiculously long cotton
Yeah.
swabs that we would. Oh, I forgot the step of it. We used to, just like PVC. Before we put the glue on his dick, we put some iodine to clean his dick.
Yeah.
Then we glued. We didn't go all willy nilly into it. I mean, I probably did willy nilly a few of them, and they exploded, and then I had to redo them. You never want to redo your work, especially when it's involves your dad's penis and glue. At least he was paralyzed, so I had to. If I got frustrated and hit him in the balls or something, he was complaining.
Oh, you'd give him a jab?
Hence
No, I'm
the
just
colors
just
that you were
saying,
talking about earlier.
Yeah.
From him and his
Hey,
brothers
guys.
fucking thumping his dad in the dick because they're mad at him.
I bet if I had a halfway competent or even a therapist, I bet a lot of my problem, having that explained to me and having to do that and having the pressure of it and stuff, and then when I try to do
it's
anything that
terrible.
requires directions, I just throw a fucking baby fit, storm off and shit. like I'm yelling at objects,
Yeah.
like "fuck you, you
How
faggots."
how old were you when you were doing this for your dad?
Oh, about fifth grade is when that's when he first was in a wheelchair and came home from the VA
See,
hospital.
that's
Got a
that's
dead
that's
leg.
unacceptable, and that's on your parents and your brothers. That should be that you have older brothers at that point, and whether
David
they're
and Larry were five.
fucking hard ass weed smoking, out
Well,
on the
I
street all
think
night
at some
partiers,
level,
they still shouldn't task their youngest brother who's in fifth grade with all the care of their father.
He
That's
was the
some
most
know,
trainable
bullshit.
of the bunch.
Yeah,
well, no, I'd say
maybe.
My brother Jeff was the most competent and did it. Was the one who did the most of it. But we all got called into it, and then Jeff went to college, and it's like if you're riding in the car when somebody's got to fucking throw down their pants and take a dump, it's everybody's on the bus.
On duty.
It's go
Even
time.
even if you weren't pants man, you still felt the fucking sting of the whole rest area, wondering why there's a dead set of legs. The family's ripping the pants off of them. Yeah.
It's also pragmatic, though. I mean, you guys have to deal with it, and if you don't deal with it, it's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my dad having to go to the bathroom almost instantly. We get into a car, and it takes a while to get him into a car with a walker and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he gets into the store that we're going to, because being mobile helps. It helps with socializing. It helps with and then all of a sudden, I go, bathrooms right and back, Dad. And I get him right near there, and I go, I'm just gonna walk around the bookstore, and then a little bit later, I'm like, I don't know where he's at. He's in there, right? And a lady comes out of the bathroom and goes, "There's a man in the ladies' room."
Uh-oh.
Dad, he can't see very well, and he's in there. I would imagine with his pants down, trying to get into a stall and in the ladies' room.
That happened to me at Stanhope's wedding at Tommy
Classic
Rocker's.
Dad.
Oh man.
Shit.
I'm not getting old. Fuck that.
I know, yeah. It's like
My
hell.
grandparents are in their late 80s, and they've been until all this shit started. I think, and even this summer, I think they still went to a family reunion in August. They have a motorhome. They fucking travel. They go camping at lakes and fucking fish. They're in their late 80s, and they're still doing all that stuff. And then now that all of this stuff, once they shut down, they've fucking shut down. They're crashing hard now that they're not able to keep up their active, lifestyle that they had. And that was what was keeping them going at that late age. And now they're just crashed out.
Yeah. I guess we're hitting it at a good age, and there's things around you can still pull yourself together. But it's like having Matlock canceled at the nursing home. It's like, oh no. Semblance of it is kind of weird because I always considered myself, I didn't really like people, and I'd go places and just watch them and think not pleasant thoughts about what a fucking asshole or whatever. But it's like, I miss doing that even, or you miss just extra people around, even doing stupid shit, going to the store or whatever. It's weird when there's a line of people to go in a store and they only let 15 people in at a time or whatever. And that's what Oregon's going back to that, I think.
Mm-hmm. The odd thing for me is that aside from, just the actual dynamics of how the pandemic works with how people have to behave around each other and having social distancing and keeping crowds down and shit has made LA the greatest city in the world to live in, because it solves all of LA's problems. Traffic isn't as bad. The fucking stores aren't as crowded. It's like, oh, this is what this city should be like if it wasn't filled with assholes like me who came here for no particular reason other than to fucking fuck it up for everybody else. So, that part of it is like enjoyable, it's like, oh, it's nice to be able to drive somewhere and not have it take fucking 5 hours, or to go to the fucking Ralph's and be able to walk in and out in 45 minutes and get groceries. Like, it's fucking nice. Everyone's dying, but other than that.
Well, according to you, but a lot of people, Nobody's dying, or they're
Yeah.
not doing anything. Yeah, it's like LA. It just seems like people are going it's like, where's everybody going? Like right now they're doing it. They're taking care of a lot of that shit and they're staying put. Like maybe that on the other side of this, if just a small percentage of people are out of the habit of just fucking rifling into their car, jamming up the freeway so they can go have fucking a yoga class, 3 exits up, or whatever that shit, and just make it happen in their own fucking space. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, the big companies are already saying that, like Microsoft, there's going to be no one basically back on campus like they used to do for all of 2021. I mean, they're reconfiguring how they're going to have their employees work, telecommute, which is what they do in like Sweden. They all do that anyway.
Yes. Most of these companies are never going back to the way it was because now it won't make any sense. Now that they've figured out that a lot of these people can work from home, it makes more sense to let them stay at home and not have to fucking have an office.
They've eliminated a fucking shitload of overhead. So why would you go back to that?
Overhead. Just think of the amount of real estate you will need once you reconfigure your business to not have 80% of the bodies on campus.
Which all of that is going to put another sector of the fucking business population completely out of business. It'll evolve.
Cafeteria, janitors.
What's going to happen to the Brock Turners of tomorrow? Where are they going to learn to rape if they can't go to college?
They'll figure it out.
We've got my grandkids have been here this week, and my granddaughter's in first grade, and she's doing online schooling on a Kindle tablet that's fucking tiny. Excuse me. It's the teacher is dealing with kids in the class as well as at home.
Cartman.
And it's like it's chaos. The whole thing's utter chaos. The teacher she's making multiple mistakes. My granddaughter's laughing hysterically because she knows that the teacher is wrong, but the teacher hasn't corrected herself yet. It's bizarre. Then they're like, you need to do this assignment, and then you have to do this, and you pull it up. It doesn't work. None of the technology that they tell you to do, where I'm like, if we were creating a bunch of fucking idiots before, we are definitely creating a bunch of fucking idiots now because the teacher can't give a shit. The teacher cannot give a shit that each one of those kids at home has no clue what the fuck they're supposed to. You can watch one kid was just he was eating grapes and he just kept zooming them up and back and forth to the fucking camera. I'm like, that kid is not paying attention at all.
Kid showing his cat's asshole to the camera. Look at it.
One had a baby fucking crying, just screaming the whole time. I'm like, why is there a baby crying? They're like, oh, that's my friend so-and-so has a baby sister. And you're like, this is fucking utter chaos. None of these kids are learning shit.
Same as public school.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah.
And this is what kind of school, Chad?
First grade.
Oh, just public school though.
Yeah.
If they ever do, say they just like COVID goes away in a year, and everybody goes away. There's going to be take a year of socialization away from kids. Like everybody's going to enter into the next grade like a homeschooled retard.
If these parents don't want their kids to be morons, like I just sat off camera to the whole time so I could listen to the thing. And then once they would go and they'd do their work, she'd be like, what? And I'm like, exactly, here, let's do this. And I would help and explain. And even the assignment that didn't work, you're supposed to write adjectives about things. So I'm like, do you know what an adjective even is? No. All right, here's what this. So I had to sit there and do the lesson myself the way I would teach whatever that you're trying to teach. And it was, I don't think parents aren't doing that shit. They put them in front of those things.
How did they ever know before what was happening? They're actually getting a view into the classroom now.
But you get again. I'm going to sound like someone who's constantly name dropping because I mentioned my daughter. But I have one sister, and she is a first grade teacher, and she watches. Hi, Shauna.
But that's not name dropping.
She's got it. she got no more money, and her job requirements doubled. I talked to her just before we recorded this. I talked to her because I was trying to talk her into canceling Thanksgiving, which they're doing, which they're canceling. But she was at school on Sunday afternoon recording all of her video lessons. So she's got so all the parents got a choice to either send their kids to school or do it virtually. But the teacher has to teach all of them. So she's got to teach virtually and to the classroom at the same time. So you took an impossible job and made it impossible.
Yes, absolutely.
But I will say this, and
I definitely wasn't talking bad about the teachers.
I didn't get that impression, but this speaks to what you were saying. The parents got the choice which one they wanted to do. So if you, at least in Illinois, at least at Shauna's school,
same here.
So if you're the parent who chooses that your kid is going to stay home from school, then you also have to understand that with that choice goes sitting next to your kid while they fucking do this, because the teacher can't control your kid from class. So if you don't think that you can do that for your child, then you have to send your kid to the school.
Agreed.
Right? I mean, that's some of that lies with the parents.
Feels like the military should start taking younger people.
Yeah, and that was kind of my point too. As I was saying, Erickson, is not that you shouldn't have to sit next to them, that you have to sit. You do have to sit next to them. But my point is these parents are not doing that. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
I know.
Not the great kid.
What did your teacher say? That's their answer. I don't know how to do this. What'd your teacher say? I don't know. She has a mask on and she's talking to other people. I'm just trying to catch what she says on a fucking Zoom on a shitty Kindle Fire, motherfucker. Yeah.
See, what should happen is the government should have paid all of our salaries and forgiven all rents and all of this, paid businesses. Just let everybody stay home. Parents should have taken a year. Everyone should have done this for a year, and everyone should be ready to do this. It should be like you have your bug out bag ready. You should have your pandemic bag ready where you're ready to lock down. And if you have kids, you should be ready to teach those fucking kids math and science and reading for a year. And if you can't do that, then you shouldn't have kids.
Abort them.
Whatever age.
Yeah. I mean, it's your responsibility whether these kids get educated.
Yep.
Not the teachers.
Well, Erickson, as well as a lot of times the teachers, even the best teachers that I knew my kids had growing up, did not stay teachers for very long, because we would stay in close contact with them, and they'd be like, "Look, I can't." And be like, "No, you need to do this." They're like, "Look, I know that, but I can't."
You do get summers off. That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, they have to work summer school to fucking make up for the money they don't make during the year.
Yep.
I know. You're
My
right.
mom did it for years.
Yeah.
My mom was an educator.
That's the worst.
Second grade.
Now I understand why my teachers in middle school like to whip kids. It's like the only fucking perk they got. Yeah. They get summers off and they get to whip some white boy ass. I'll take that gig.
Andy, your school is not a bellwether for any other school or any other child's experience. What was happening in Coquille, Oregon is its
but
own.
I think there was a lot of
Twilight Zone episode.
Your school changed policy for all the schools in the country.
The wood chipping.
There's no wood checking.
That's
There's no
purely
sawdust
Coquille.
checks anywhere else.
Yeah, that's probably what the definition of Coquille. It's an Indian word meaning check that boy's asshole for wood chip. Eat careless and sawdust. Tonto.
Maybe that's just like a logging thing too, like schools in the logging towns, there's sawdust everywhere, so they're always checking everybody's asshole for sawdust.
That's a good point, Erickson. That's probably it. That makes perfect sense.
Just seems.
Good thing we didn't live in a steel town.
Yeah.
You guys might have some steel.
That's why That's why they could get away with it, is what I mean. Like,
Well,
it's not as weird in a logging town to be finding wood in places.
well, I
No,
mean, here we
no
have
joke
here,
intended. So
here
it's,
we
how else could this go on for so long that no one stopped it?
Is it like finding out that there's a certain amount of rat feces and ice cubes? It's like there is in every person. There's at least a wood chip in your ass. You can't not have it. You know, you swallow it in the air a little bit each day.
builds up. Here in Arizona,
you eat
we
8
have
spiders when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
we have tumbleweeds in Arizona, but you don't have to check your ass for it because if you have a tumbleweed in your ass, everybody knows it. So
If
you
you
don't
know
have.
So what
wish
you're
I could-
saying, Chad, is if your kid came home and said, the principal is checking my asshole for tumbleweeds, you wouldn't go, yeah.
No, he'd just make
Well, did
cricket
he find
noises.
any?
Well, we live in the desert. What do you think? Of course.
Tell me you got fucking tumbleweeds. What do we got to go get one of those little combs? Oh no, that's lice.
You need to put a defensive critter in there, an attack scorpion. You put that in your asshole. Next time your teacher's snooping around in your asshole for tumbleweeds, he'll get his.
Tell her that tumbleweed's part of your scorpion habitat. Goddamn.
This is an anal episode, a very anal episode.
I feel like I steered this one into the wall.
Yeah, that's just went silly.
We're into, the holiday season is upon us. We're feeling the COVID spike from Halloween. That's just a few fucking kids knocking on doors. Wait till the Halloween spike hits. That's going to put a damper on Christmas. Oh, well, if we could have, let's think about it this way. If we could have relatives over, a lot of them would be dead.
I think we're in it right now, Andy.
Yeah.
It's been over 14 days since.
Right. Yes, that's what the numbers I think are spiking because people were like, "Let's go out and party on Halloween." I'm just gonna get with 8 or 10 friends and dress up like a whore and maybe only blow off 3 guys or whatever. It's like you're gonna take it easy this Halloween. Well, you're still a super spreader, sister, and not my sister. I'm talking about Brett's.
Yeah.
I just went I went to the corner store to get beers before we did this, and I kind of like the tense feeling. You go in, and there was 12 people in the fucking little corner store, and I would say, 20% of them were not wearing masks and just fucking and 2 of them were these big fat ladies. They were just like hanging out right next to everybody, and people are like, "Are you in line?" And they're like, "We're just waiting on pizza." And you're like, "Stop saying pizza. You don't have a mask on."
Yeah.
They were,
yeah. You say pizza, that goes more than 6 feet.
Man,
that's got that big pea explosion
that's
sound.
a bloom.
It was.
Yeah.
Sierra Vista is one of the towns that relaxed the mask mandate early.
Most of the stores haven't, though. The stores
I know,
all
and
still
that's
require it.
refreshing.
But this was odd to see that and all the people who weren't wearing masks were like staring at the people wearing masks like they hated them. And then so I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm on this team. Fuck you, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So I was staring back at them like I hated them, and we were. I liked the tension, like everybody's about to fucking rumble when we were just trying to get.
Yeah, I liked it. I was in Coos Bay, and like 4 or 5 teenager dudes come in there, and none of them wearing masks, and just zip through the store like they were like holding their breath or trying to pull a shirt over their face. But just everybody around was all like in agreement, like fuck these guys, like And I was annoyed with it, but I found comfort in the fact that there was a bunch of other people like, yeah, get off our lawn, or bunch of we're all being adults. But yeah, it is. There's a tension in places and it's kind of a go about your business world now too, and I like that.
Well, I think I think on some levels, hasn't it become a thing where the people who are wearing the masks, we've been wearing the masks for long enough now that it's like people who aren't wearing the masks, it's like, Jesus Christ, come on, man. Like it's not that big of a fucking deal. And you're still doing this. And you're fucking it up for everybody because we need everybody to do it or it doesn't work as well.
If my underwear
so
won't stop a fart and a mask ain't gonna stop no COVID.
I think underwear do
I've seen
stop.
that argument.
Yeah, I have too. And I think what kind
underwear
of fart
do
lasts
stop
through?
farts and might have the marks to prove it.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I always want to argue with that and be like, yeah, they do. We're trying to stop droplets. And yeah, if you fart, I'm hoping your underwear are stopping the droplets. I can smell your breath still too, but you're not spitting on me.
It's like trying to explain science to someone who doesn't understand magnets. Or you know what I mean? It's like you're not going. Nothing you say is going to make them understand.
You don't comprehend the base. You're not going to understand
No,
anything.
it's just way too far above. Everything's sound bites from the fucking White House commander in chief.
Yeah.
I will say today, Doug and Christine Levine did a kickoff to the. There was a parade because the lame duck mayor, David Smith, has decided to cut funding in a very surreptitious and bullshitty way to the no-kill animal shelter here in Bisbee by taking away the funding that's already been allocated towards it, and to basically get rid of it and to like just let it happen on its own, right? And they're basically it's going to force people to basically abandon animals or leave animals somewhere else because they're not going to be able to do it here. So there's a rally at the museum. There's going to be a little bit of a walk. Christine goes up and does a talk. Doug goes up and does a talk, and then they walked probably like 2 blocks, and then it was over. But everyone was wearing masks.
Yeah.
Everyone, it was in a big deal. Well, there was one person who wasn't wearing a mask. Jet Lacey was the only fucking guy not wearing a fucking mask.
Old town.
And his wife works in a hospital. So,
But
even the mayor-elect Ken Budge came up. I mean, when he takes over, it's going to be definitely new, but he can't do anything until after that, and so we're hoping that goes through.
Jeez.
And
Stanley, did he do he was writing his speech the other night at Jovi's. Did he do most of the stuff that he had?
He forgot his sheet, so he ended up it was quick.
Yeah.
He almost said fuck in the loudspeaker, but he stopped. He heckled motorcyclists going by, so he kind of riffed it a little bit. It was kind of fun.
Nice.
But I think he said he got like a couple of the points, but that's the first time he's done anything in front of a group since
that's a new
March 12th.
We were drinking and getting high at Joby's the other day, and he was sitting there writing it, and he would just giggle, and then he would fucking tell us all what he fucking just said, and then we were all, of course, laughing uproariously. And he had elaborate shit. He goes, "I'm gonna cut fucking most of this anyway, but it's fun to write shit, like this." It was so good.
He's the new mayor.
Yeah, you got to catch us up on this, Chad.
Yeah.
I didn't follow. So you guys know the new mayor of Bisbee? Is he cool? What's the story?
Yes. He's cool. I met him today. He's very cool. We thought he was another guy. We all remembered incorrectly together that we thought this guy Ken Budge was a dude who did open mic here in the Funhouse one time. So we're like, yeah, we're voting for him. But then we didn't like David Smith. And then turns out it's not him. It's just an old guy who worked on the city council. It was on the council. But yeah, he did talk to Doug today and said, I appreciate you doing this. And when we can wrestle control back, we'll figure it out. But this is a vendetta. I don't mean to take this over, but this is a vendetta from David Smith towards Kelly Poco, who has had some things to say in the paper about David Smith and his leadership. And this is a vindictive thing purely because the money's already been allocated.
Have the ability to do that. Like, I'm on my way out. Fuck you guys. With the money that's already been promised to you. But that's the new politics is the fucking burn.
I think there was a petition that went around, and a lot. I mean, it's going to get addressed. I'm pretty sure it's a good turnout. Stanhope was writing a fucking hilarious speech. I have the
whole thing recorded.
It was he was at one point we were laughing about he was gonna talking about if you're gonna have a kill shelter, you have to use all of the rescue. You have to eat the meat and use the fucking hide. And you can't
right,
just, if you're going
he
to
didn't
kill
go
animals
there.
for no reason, you can't waste them.
He went a
We were
different
all
direction.
Yeah.
Doug describing all the parts, using all the parts of the cat you just had to kill at the animal shelter rally. Fucking perfect.
What he did was
Oh,
that would have been funny in the green room, but what he did on stage was that these animals, they need work too. They're essential. So he's like talking as if like there's seeing eye dogs in the fucking shelter waiting to work, and we just won't put them to work. And he goes, and it's a mining town. Come on, if we ever needed canaries to work, it would be a mining town.
yeah. Yeah.
Great.
He had somebody was saying, in 1975, when the miners of this town fled the Great Blizzard, they abandoned all of their children and their pets, and I alone took these pets in and survived. Like, he had so much. It was so much fun to watch him just fucking try to be goofy and write shit his high as shit. Oh man, it was so much fun. I wanted to go see what he actually would say.
Well, I'll
It sounds
post
like
better
a
show.
Kenny origin story, sort of. Like, found Kenny at the shelter, took him in.
Yeah.
Derek showed up a week later.
They got hooked up, humping in the yard. Couldn't get him a fart.
hot pan of water.
Stuck in.
Oh shit.
So Doug's.
Well, hey,
Doug's-
let's go make a drink and come back on Patreon.
yeah, we got that.
You guys want to do that?
That.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that.
You guys got other things going on?
No, not at all.
I got a bunch more Modelos and a bunch more weed going on. So
I like to hear that.
Go
So
get
that's what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to go over to our Patreon and hang out for a after hour show.
That's
and make
where
another
we
drink.
slug each other in the arm and initiate each other.
We put catheters on each other.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot
With
of
our
fun.
mouths.
We Skype catheter each other. Oh, I got
That's
glue on
the
my keyboard. I'll
top
call you
tier,
back.
I've never had to do that, Andy, but I did have to clip my dad's toenails. Ooh,
Oh,
I'd say it's about even.
yeah, that would be pretty rough. I know my
Yeah.
dad's feet look like.
I remember bearing down with 2 hands at one point to get
Oh,
the big toe. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
like
and I didn't wear glasses at the
grinder
time.
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He got fucking. Oh,
Get a toenail in the eye, man, that's infected.
yeah. Fuck yeah, it is.
Athlete's foot of the eye.
There's no cure.
No cure. All right, let's do the plugs.
This show was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This show was fucking ridiculous.
Dude, fuck.
So yeah, we're gonna go over to Patreon. Andy Andrus has a Venmo. You can send him money or gifts or letters, whatever you want to do. There it is, right there. Andrew-Andrus at Venmo.com, and there's his address. Send him stuff, and you can subscribe to Chad's Twitch channel and hang out with him and his friends while they do stupid things as well. It's pretty easy. And if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get a free Twitch subscription. You just have to renew every month, so you can use it on Chad if you don't go to Twitch otherwise. But you should, because it's fun. And oh yeah, Issues with Andy merch. Get an Issues with Andy T-shirt. Be the envy of your block in a stylish Issues with Andy tee, and you can get them at DougStanhope.com.
Or
And what else?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look at that. Here's the
Back.
fucking prize right here.
available at naturejack.com.
Don't
Alright.
get an Issues with Andy T-shirt. Cancel your order. Take
Hold on
all
a
of that
second.
money and buy a couple. It's reverse marketing.
I get
dude.
it. Go ahead.
Get your Nature Jack T-shirt and help Andy Andrus put out his special last shot. I almost said last special.
Well, I get ahead of the COVID.
Of Andy's memorial special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have naturejack.com, it looks like. So it finally happened. You finally secured it, and it's right there for you. So that's fantastic.
Well,
and
we'll
there are
scramble
two
and see what we
versions
can
of
do
the
before
shirt.
this goes out.
Yeah. I may have lost my web support.
Uh-oh.
I know some people who have these T-shirts, and they all have interesting stories already about wearing this T-shirt out and then getting looks from the public, forgetting what it is that is on their shirt. So then they remember, oh yeah, there's a guy jacking off on my T-shirt. So listen, you're going to enjoy a Nature Jack T-shirt.
Maybe
Go
he's
pick
putting
one
on a
up.
catheter.
Yeah.
There could be anything happening over there.
Could be just
Fishing. He looks like he's fishing
Yeah.
to me.
Uh-huh.
Could
He's
be.
got a trout. He's got a trout.
I think he might have one. He's fighting it awful hard.
He's beating the
got a-
rainbow out of it.
Story of Andy's life, fighting it too hard.
Fighting it really hard.
It's a hate crime with a trout.
I love you guys. That's it. That's Issues with Andy. That's Greg Shaley and Chad Shank, and I'm Brett Erickson, and that's Andy Andrist. We'll see you next time. Later.